sometimes can awake with our frequency, we can awake others. And for a lot of time, this was a burden for me because I see the most weird reaction. Maybe I get closer to a person or a lover or a friend, and I discover that this person show all the things uh, it was not ready to see yet, and have a deep dark night of the soul immediately after meet me. And for years this was challenging. In these late years, I see that even those people who seems lost find their way back to remembrance, to see
Yes.
that there is more there. And all that I once thought it was a burden, it becomes okay, I understand what I'm here to do. So I accept the challenge of the difficulties of maybe being hated sometimes while I'm expressing my truth, my truth and my energy. But at the same time, it's the most exciting things for me is seeing that it's just working from the inside slowly, but it's working. This is the things I notice. Even the darkness night of this planet, it's necessary to see the most biggest awakening. So it's all one, the law of correspondency. I don't know the term in English if it's correct. So there is this quantum physics law that says that in order to have one, you need, in order to have the entropy, uh, how can I say in English? It's so difficult to explain physics and science in another language. Oh my God. So
You're
there's
doing so good.
Yes, you are.
level of balance. So in order to have um, the exact opposite, things has to develop to the exact um, extreme opposite. Okay, I'm trying to explain. I don't know if it's clear what I'm trying to say. So you need one side, the most deep darkness to experience light sometimes. So to reconnect of what Laura Eisenhower says, what Ashley says about his her moment of darkness with a lot of experience or attraction with certain creepy stuff. I just want to reconnect with that, even with the dark agenda stuff that I don't want to recall. But it's just an example for people to understand what we are seeing right now in the collective is um, awakening. It's low, but it's an awakening. And people that just in the my mm, daily on daily basis, I've met people maybe on work, really 3D experience life, um, not knowing nothing about spirituality. I can see a change of perspective while interacting with certain spirits. And it's not necessary to say, oh, I'm a star seed and explain the old story or explain the Kundalini, the awakening, the feminine energy. And they are in my presence and they start to mirroring the frequency and respond to that frequency, asking questions. And I am excited to stay to to notice that even with a lot of patience, um, it needs a lot of patience, but this process is going on, and I can see a difference from the two last year, from the passing 2 years. So that is the things that make me um, happy at this moment. Even though you need you need to have a lot of faith because you have to be patient on the process. You have to have faith in the process and have faith in the beings, have faith in the realms, the etheric world, what they are constantly communicating us. And sometimes with the mind of this physical body, it's difficult to link the dot, and still keeping waiting. And a lot of new stars awakening starseeds I've met, freshly awakened starseeds, they I use this term, sorry, is a shitty term, starseed. For us, it's now we've go further than that. Okay, I think all of us, but we need this word to help people starting to. So the human mind needs to give name to things. So we need to use this name, starseeds. Of course, we are soul. There is no difference. We are experimenting this reality. I love the energy that Greta uh, was channeling at the beginning, because it reminded me a lot, like the medianic contact my mom have. Uh, my mom passed 3 years ago now, but she has this contact with beings, and she never gave names to stuff. She was very, it's like she was a channel, a medium to this flow of things. Maybe us, like, coming from different stars and stuff, we have this uh, analytic method of division of terms, terminology, words. But just because we know, we need to help people understand. But the beautiful of a free channel, that it's open, and I perceived before the direct energy of this being speaking throughout her. It was very heartwarming and familiar, and I would love, my hope for the future, I would love people to um, do this, how can I say, experience. I would love people to experience this direct contact within their own channel with the astral, okay, with the source. I would love this, because without connection with the source, we have no direction down here. And this is my biggest hope, because it's all just go through your own channel, and it's very simple. You don't need so much words. I'm trying my best with a language that is not mine. I'm hoping you're perceiving my my challenge, because at the same time I'm full of energy that I'm still trying to not challenge and go in a deep trance state. And as I said at the beginning of my intervention, my process of being grounded on earth is more difficult than others. So I tend to go and not connecting with the body no more. So even doing this in another language is more challenging for me. But I hope you get the point. So I used
Yes.
so many, but it wasn't necessary.
It was so good, Lorna. It was so good. Did you want to say something, Sheila?
No, I was just going to say, I think that you're doing a phenomenal job, and you're able to translate, or I'm able to understand everything that you're wanting to share with us. So thank you very much.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You're
I
very
enjoyed
clear.
her talk. I
Yes.
enjoyed her talk very
Nice
much.
to meet you, Ashley and Greta. And I haven't the chance to say hi to Laura, but first of all, we didn't even introduce each other. So nice to meet you, girl.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
I love
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Sheila, do you want to go next, or do you want me
No,
to
I
go
was
next?
just getting ready to say, so what about Bridget?
So what's interesting, you guys, I feel like we're so on similar pages. I was thinking, oh, I'm so into the unity consciousness and this and this and this. So I'm just going to speak. I spend a lot of time on audio only social media apps. Well, not audio only, but they have other things in them too. And over the last, like, I don't know, like 3.5 years. And so I get sort of a taste of where people are within the world, within their consciousness, because they're global, right? So one thing that I love seeing is the desire for unity consciousness and unconditional love. What I also love seeing is people are actually, because we get caught up in the separation consciousness, right? Like so many people, there's so many programs running through the human collective that are filled with separation consciousness. Politics is, I mean, it creates the most intense divides, right? And people are super into it and get really like, I miss the days when political opinions were private. I don't know about, I mean, I think that was before me, but I really miss those days. I miss all of this stuff. But what I love is that I'm hearing conversations about, hey, if you're fighting with someone, you're playing into separation. Hey, you know, and there's a difference between asserting a boundary and you know, an all out, you know, a mental and emotional brawl, verbal brawl, right? Um, Much less physical. But I love hearing that there are trickles of this, because starseeds, we feel this. We feel the separation in things, even if we're playing in it, right? In that moment, we feel that division. We feel, especially those of us that have come for the to really carry in that unity consciousness, symphony of frequencies that we hold within us, right? So I love hearing people talk about, you know, hey, when you're, you know, putting someone else as other than in any way, you're playing in separation and not unity, right? Like where they're bringing it in. I'm hearing trickles of that. I also really have grown to understand and appreciate the fourth dimensional awakening, is what I call it. That part of ourselves that really recognize. I know, Greta, I know you and your your dimension. I feel it. I understand it. These are just labels to help people understand. But you know, that part of our consciousness where we still see that battle with everything. We, you know, really resonate with the narratives that are about being a slave race, or we really, you know, resonate with the narratives. It's just like the rabbit hole part of ourselves, like the part that can get carried away in all the different narratives, because we feel like we haven't really stepped fully into our power in all the ways that we could in our life, and maybe we feel downtrodden by a lot of our experiences, right? So I'm starting to really appreciate that and how that moves through consciousness to open doors to the parts of ourselves that know that we're already free and can be empowered and all of that, which I find it interesting. Like waking up to, this is a firmament. Well, all of existence is created, right? So starseeds, we're like, well, yeah, but I mean, so is everything else. And there are elements of us that are not playing in any of this stuff, right? Like there are aspects of our consciousness, of our source light that is beyond all of the individuated expressions, right? So I love to see how the variety of communities are sort of coming together as well. Like where ufology is actually talking about consciousness, where just 2 years ago that was unheard of. And if you did, you were like, you know, blacklisted and, you know, ridiculed, and that was all government doing anyway, that whole mentality, right? So I love seeing how it's starting to come together to weave into that. Like people are most people, not everybody, a lot of people, I shouldn't say most, my team was like, don't say most, a lot of people are starting to say, okay, well, let me look at the experiencers, let's look at the star seeds that we thought woo was, oh, that's woo, that's, you know, whatever. I don't know if you guys know that term, but it's a thing. And I'm like, I own my woo, you know, I've had my woo my whole life, and I will stand in the woo. But at the same time, like I love hearing them go, hey, let's look at all the different parts, because we know, because we do these events and we have communities, we know that everybody has a key and multiple keys, and that all those frequencies, when we come together, we hold all that wisdom and knowledge of our souls and the different angles that our soul has been expressing, And then we're able to like see a bigger picture through those connections and communication. And I love when I'm seeing people who aren't necessarily part of the consciousness communities or part of the Starseed community, Starseed walk-in hybrids. I don't mean to leave anyone out, and anyone else, because these are just labels, guys. But you know, who maybe aren't a part of that, talking about it and wanting to come together and seeing it. So that's what gets me the most excited. In my own life, I am focusing on consciously creating my reality. I've been focusing on this for a bit and doing it. And I have places that I feel like I'm free flowing, and I have places where I feel like, well, you know, like, I could have, could have done that a little different. And then I have, you know, the part of me that is here to help shift the frequencies around money and about bringing in
Oh, yeah.
abundance and what that's like. Because in the new age communities and a lot of other places on earth, we've kept, yes, woo, the woo, the woo you. That's cute. I don't know who just said that, but that was great. But there's a lot of those are programs of scarcity, lack, limitation, poverty, right? And it's a consciousness that is woven into the human experience that helps keep us small and divided, really, honestly. So I'm all about thriving in unity and oneness, and unconditional love is definitely a part of that. So I am focusing on how I can be more of that, right? And where all those distortions are, and where I've adopted in the programming. And it is a pain in the butt, you guys, to be real honest, like going through this is not easy, but it is exciting. And I, at the same time, like some days I'm like, oh, I don't even want to think about this today. Other days I'm like, yeah, let's do this, because I know what I do in the world is the minute I get something and I'm really integrated in it, then I can help share it, and somebody else can take it and run with it and share it, and someone else will take it and run with it and share it, right? So, and I have people that I'm looking to right now to assist me with this that I don't even know, right? Like, you guys, if you're dealing with anything in abundance, go to Erin Lyons. If you guys don't know who she is, she's on YouTube and she is amazing at this. Also, another one who's hilarious is Amanda Francis. Totally different frequency sets, totally different whatever, but this is like their ball game. They came here to do this and be this in the world, right? So I'm saying, I'll share the wealth, right? Like, that's what we're here to do. And I'm getting, more and more in that flow every day, which is amazing. But there's a sort of like I'm surfing the waves, you know what I mean? But I just want to say to anyone out there, whatever you're doing in each now moment, regardless of how it looks, just be gentle with yourself and love yourself through it, right? And let go of that abusive voice that you've been taught, because we didn't come into the world with that within our minds. And so, yeah, Sheila, that was a very long share, but that's that's where I am, and I'm going to hand it to you, beautiful sister, to hear where you are with all of this.
Oh, well, I've got another question, so I'll be very, very quick. But one of the things that I have noticed is that as more and more people wake up to the fact that they are a starseed, as they begin to embrace all that means to them, as they begin to walk out their truth, doesn't matter what their ideology is, it opens up these pathways for unity, just like you were talking about. And I find that to be so beautiful, because in this unity and weaving together these threads, really, it's just creating the tapestry of the universe that we are already a part of. So, Greta, when you're talking about there really is no dimensions, there really is no density, I am totally on board with that, totally in agreement. And one of the things that I always teach people is all you have to do is fall back into that which you already are, because you already are those things that you seek to become. We are all of that and so much more. But I have another question for everyone. And if right now you're speaking to 100% of the population of this planet and everywhere else as well, but if you are speaking 100% to all the population on this planet, what message do you want to give them?
I'd like to go first because
Oh,
it's the
please.
message we give all the time. Even on our podcast, every podcast, and I'm forever saying it. And I said it at the end of the presentation today. People are so busy wanting to fall in love with somebody else. You know, I want a mate, I want this, I want that. I tell them, I said, that's fine. That's beautiful. But the first person that you want to fall in love with is yourself. That's if we would give as much attention to ourselves as we want to give to somebody else, because we want to show them that we love them,
Yeah.
that to me is that's it, the bees in the knees, as they call it. But it's love. You gotta love yourself. Because, and I don't want to occupy the time, but what happens when you love yourself, you're going to create realities. We have, the realm gave us this existence protocol, and it's called create, support, create. That what happens is, if I'm loving myself, you're going to bring things to me that are positive, that show me that I'm loving myself. That's how we support each other. I tell people, I say, if somebody said something nasty to you, don't look, don't look at the person. Ask yourself, why did I create that person to say that to me? Deal with you, because somebody said, I don't know if it was Ashley, I don't know if it was Lorian, if it was Bridget, but somebody on this program, and it could have been Laura, but somebody said it. And that is that we've got to look internal, not external, because everything external is illusion. Everything out there is illusion. You got to deal with self. Love self. That's my biggie. And the realm's biggie too.
Beautiful. Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Greta said, you're it. The entire structure is you. Wherever you go, there you are. How are you showing up? Because reality is going to respond to that. So
Absolutely.
just to recognize you're it. Whatever that is that you're creating, whether it's, what we perceive as good or what we perceive as bad, can you accept it neutrally as where we are? And then can you alchemize? Will you, like you said, Sheila, fall back into it? When you said that, I imagined people falling into their body, fully present with their form and the capabilities to alchemize energy. It's when we're present in the body with the form, with the bones, with the muscles, with the fascia, with all the connective tissue and inner organs. That's when you really make a difference. When you use that technology, your God-given creation, to serve the entire structure that is you.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. I love that, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Because in the healing process of self, the one thing that falling into it, doing what Ashley said, that brings you into health. Brings you into health. Yeah. We don't have to be sick. I have ailments, physical ailments that I'm experiencing, and and I'm working to get rid of it. Like once I wound up with congestive heart failure. And if you know anything about that, most people die from it. And I just said, I'm not going. It took me 5 years, but I got rid of it. I don't have it anymore. you see. So it's like we can do this. And I think that's what Ashley was talking about. We can do this. You know, we can do this. All five of us have been expounding on that we can do this. We can be healthy emotionally, psychologically, physically, spiritually. It's all there. All we gotta do is use it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Lorianette?
So I'm amazed both by this energy. I feel so much peace. For me, it's I think we are just saying the same message with different words, and I think that what we were saying before was even words create division. For that, ET and soul communicated throughout symbol and images, and I'm more I would love to share my concept with images, but what I'm visualizing right now, what I'm feeling right now is that the important things, the important message for me is that because we are all connected, we are all one, vibrating together, we must be aware that our electromagnetic field can change the electromagnetic fields of another. So the most important message is be aware of what you emit and what you put in the world, because it's what you will receive, because we are all one. So
Absolutely.
the service of others is the service of self, and the service of self is the service of all.
Absolutely.
So being mindful of what kind of energy you are putting outside, and that you are all the same things, that you are a lot, even with nature, with animals, with uh, your words, your action, the action and words for, as we said before, to ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves is important. And at the same time, I want to help people find the balance between the both side of generalize and divisions, or the too many concepts. Too many people tell me that my concept of oneness and this um, what I'm just saying about that we influence each other. And I usually in Italy, I usually speak about quantum physics in order to help people who have the scientific mind to understand spiritual meaning. And I'm doing an effort because I want to be to embrace all the aspects that this 3D life as uh, it's uh, giving me. And I want to say, to maybe to clarify for some people that it's okay to not have memories of past life. It's okay to not remember all. Even to start, it's okay to go through this phase of amnesia, because we came here to do this human experience in the same condition of 3D human consciousness. And in order to help the collective, we transmutate this awakening, this pain, this dark experience, this duality, this word, this uh, wrong way, in order to transmutate, but not because we as a soul needs to understand, but because by doing this, incarnating into the collective, we are sharing this into the network of collective. So we influence like a virus, positive virus, the network, because we are all one. So by doing this for ourselves, we take the charge to do it in our own life. We take the challenge to experiment pain or traumas, whatever it's what we choose before incarnation. But because we want to experiment as a human beings in order to free the collective of human beings. So we transmutate it, and by our awakening process, we share this. It's contagious. We we spread the same energy and influence others to do their little awakening with their own time. Everyone has his own time. So if I should give a message to others, is that being aware that we are connected is all. So if you are conscious that we are connected to all, of course you never um, give you will never do something bad or something evil to others.
Absolutely.
Of course, some entities needs to do the experience of darkness and this experience in order to understand that we are all connected, and they are arming themselves by arming others. So this is the most important things for me to share. I would love to say this to people in the street when I see them complaining about money, food, and just here in Italy, I can tell you the vibes in these days is very, very, very low. And
Mm.
as a soul that wants, even though I know we are all one, but I'm conscious, and we cannot deny that sometimes we put in situation where we need to clear up the water. So it's very heavy sometimes here, and I just sometimes I just want, okay, I want to go where my soul belongs to more freedom of saying things and being myself. And then again, I'm remember while I'm experiencing this frustration, this uh, this heaviness, I am clearing up for others. So I taking on myself sometimes, but what I'm if I'm able to transmute this energy and translate it in something beautiful, I know I'm helping like this some other people. So for some starseeds, the work is very heavy. Some starseeds are more into darkness, are more into helping the abductees, the middle lab, the traumatic experience, the hypnosis. Some people do hypnosis. So don't judge those starseeds as okay, they are focusing on the wrong stuff because we are all one. We know that we are all one, but we cannot deny that in this 3D life, we are came here to to clean up a lot of things. So it's not something to fear to speak up about the things that happens. Some people don't want to speak in the spiritual community about the horrible stuff that happened in the, for example, Laura Eisenhower. I I love her because she has the courage to speak even of uncomfortable topics. And a lot of people in the spiritual community don't want to deal with that because maybe they're seeing as okay, I'm going in the wrong timelines. But when you do from a space of okay, I want to help people understand that this is a part of the 3D experience we are doing, it's okay to speak about it. It's okay to um, teach people about it. If you have some information, it's okay to not hide this information from the people, because if you have certain experience, it's to share it sometimes with others. It's not necessarily to share it because at the unconscious level we understand the lesson even though we're not speaking about it, but it's important to link the dots so some people don't go in the wrong way thinking okay, I'm crazy, okay, uh, I'm re-evocating traumatic, familiar, karmic, linear lineage. And sometimes they're just starseeds doing their work of cleaning up. And as Bridget said, sometimes it's a pain in the ass doing this. And sometimes this is the most beautiful experience because it's open your heart to the beauty, even the pain, you see in someone, you can understand why we're coming here to do this. We're not here, as Mary Rodwell says, we're not here to play. Some people, some beings, yes, but starseeds no. Starseed children usually says we're here to work, to do the work and do it fast and do it better, and we need to speed it up. And because we want to free from this density Gaia that is suffering from this density, we need to help this energy to go to take a breath. Okay, it's time. It's like a circular seasonal change that our planet, this planet, needs to do, like other planets. Even Gaia has its own entity, has its own consciousness, and hosted for so much time these, like a mother hosted this space for us to do, to take time and reincarnate it again and do the experience again. But sometimes we want to speed it up for her, because okay, souls can do it again all over again, but Gaia needs, nature needs more. It's like, again, what Laura says, why we are accepting this toxic relationship with universe, with love. It's like accepting a man that punch in your face.
Absolutely.
It's the same stuff. We need to embrace more, to the collective needs to understand that the planets need more, it deserves more, it's born, it's originates from love and has to experiment the pure form of love. So all go through the knowledge that we are interconnected and intertwined. If we can make people understand this, even with experiments, science experiments that share that we can, with our vibration, we change the electromagnetic fields of others. I try to do this in Italy with some scientific study, with conference, because people need sometimes the data here. And when they see that it's demonstrate that really the physiology of soul exists, the physiology of other dimension, it's real, the frequency are real, they start to understand more deeply. Because if we just speak, okay, God wants this, God wants that, some people are more rational, are more into their analytic thought, and we should embrace even though those people who are still in needs of some different words. Of course, it's a huge effort for us that are came to channel from the spirit, but I'm trying to do all I can to meet everyone and try to lead them gently to the, like, giving a little hand and showing that there is a way out. Okay, this is the only thing I want. I don't think I can help anyone to do nothing if their own will doesn't want to do this, or I know that I cannot. I can activate, I can be a seed, and the meaning of being a star seed is just planting a seed of this knowledge, and then every soul has its own time, and it's perfect like that. But if we can find some words to help them, why not? Even though our division, these words create division for us, I know, but maybe can help someone to understand better. It's like pretending, we are trying to use some words like dimension. Some people in Italy use like 1, 2, 3, third dimension, fourth dimension, and then Jesus God, and use all of this stuff to say, okay, my dimension is better than yours, and my race is better than yours, and Orion is always saw as a monster. So I'm trying to not use like the even though I have knowledge of which kind of frequency of vibration I was originated from, Ryan asked me to never mention these kind of stuff because creative vision. So for that resonate with me because they never says, oh, I'm the captain of the galaxy. They don't use this word. It's just some people trying to, I think maybe it's true the message they channel, and maybe this can help someone. Some channelers are truth in their channelings, but because they haven't done the inner work, they translate it with their old concept. So maybe they give the wrong name, but maybe the message was right. So there is a common message in all of us, but every one of us see throughout their lenses of consciousness. Even this, I would love people to know if I can, because even the internet creative vision throughout this channeler, that channeler, I think we must create a bridge to unify all the people that are in contact to take our pieces of puzzle and unify it, and that's all I think. I don't know if it's I don't know what I'm saying. I'm channeling, sorry. I'm so sorry that sometimes I skip words because I want to go fast and faster and faster, and I eat words. I'm aware of that. So I hope you understand something because really I go in channeling. It's so easy for me to go.
I
You
like
may
the
understand.
fact that you went into Gaia,
Mhm.
talking about the earth. I thought that that was great that you brought that up because I want to say something about the trees. I just the trees started burning in Canada. Remember when the trees were burning? I said, I wonder why these trees are burning. So I went to Canada and I stood among the trees burning. And I asked them, why are you burning? You know what they said? We're in protest. I said, you're in protest. What are you protesting? We're protesting how humans are treating the earth. And then after I left there, the next thing I turned around and the trees were burning in New Jersey. And then after that, I think the trees were burning, were burning in Hawaii. And they were, I mean, it was just like it was just going all over. All the trees started burning. And I think that is what I think that was beautiful. You brought that up about
Thanks,
Gaia. Yes, absolutely.
Greta. I don't know if any one of you experienced this, but you made me remind this. Do you remember when in Australia, right, there was this big fire?
Mm.
I remember that I thought I was sick because for the whole time I have high fever. I was shaking and have had fever. If there is an earthquake, few minutes before, some starseeds start to shake. So this is can help even to share this message. Maybe some of us have a direct contact with Gaia, and sometimes we label as, oh, you're sick, you're wrong, you are not doing the inner work. And then I discover, no, I was so in line with the work that I have this fire of fever because I was feeling deep inside the fever of earth. So even these things are important to explain to some star seeds because we tend to label, oh, this is trauma based, you are sick, you're not healed. Yeah, sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's the traumatic, the familiar, the karmic, the lack of love, the not acceptance of something. But in this case, how you explain that every time, it's like, the film E.T. when E.T. found home. When E.T. was sick, the boy was sick. So we are in the same connection with Gaia. So sometimes when Gaia is sick, we cannot understand what happens and we feel sick. I personally experienced that. And Greta, you made me remind that even this is an interesting point. Sometimes people think they're wrong, but it's just our starseeds reality. I don't know how can describe it better, right?
Yeah,
Beautiful. So
absolutely.
really what you're doing is talking about that interconnectedness, or that, that symbiotic relationship that we have with the earth. And truly, I see that more and more all the time, that people are waking up to this interconnectedness that they have with all things. They're really using nature as a catalyst to help bring balance and to bring stability back into their lives. And as we see this, and as people begin to drop into these balanced states of awareness, they begin to develop more compassion. And, the important thing about compassion is it can act as a bridge that's connecting all these different perspectives that we have on the planet, whether it is people who are at war with their own diversity, whether it is the conflicts or the wars of this planet that's going on. This compassion, this symbiotic, this symbiosis that we're talking about really can begin to foster peace and to bring about that mutual respect. And then once we can have this understanding about each other's journeys, then we can understand their struggles, and we can start to understand their dreams. And then we can all begin to become inspired and to cooperate together to drop back into that interconnectedness, which is where we all began anyway. And so I'm really excited to hear you guys talk about that. Bridget or Ash, what are your perspectives? What would be your big message that you would like to give to the earth, to the planet?
Should I go?
Go ahead, Ash.
Because
Then we would
my
like to
mouth's
go.
open.
We're both like, do we go? Who
Yeah,
goes?
here we go.
Go ahead, Ashley.
So I absolutely feel that connection, feel that call to the planet. Like so much of my star-seededness, which is just a word to describe, that medium between Earth and cosmos, and understanding that we're all of it, the entirety of creation, is right here, right now, this very moment. My connection with Mother Gaia, I think we should seek to preserve her, and she will show her magic to us. She does show her magic to those who seek to serve her preservation. And that is my message. Was the question, what message would I give to her?
Well, actually, what message, if you could only give one message, what message would that be? Whether it's to the people of Earth, whether it's about Gaia, whatever message, like, you now have the platform before the entire planet.
No pressure.
Honor
no
the part,
pressure.
honor the part that you play, and understand that creation is ever unfolding just as it's meant to, just as it should be. To perceive separation is separation within itself, but that is creation. So honor the part that you play. It's really that simple. And by honoring the part that you play, you can honor the part that others play.
Yeah.
And know that, whatever you're perceiving is of your own creation. And I'm complete.
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you, Bridget.
So you guys I love this. Someone in the chat was like, I really enjoy hearing these starseeds sharing together in this forum. We're grateful for you two, and I'm having a lot of fun with them as well. To me, the label starseed it could describe anyone on the planet, honestly, probably every single one of us, because I have a suspicion or a nudge that every single one of us is experiencing ourselves as all kinds of beings and consciousnesses and in dimensions, out of dimensions, whatever, everywhere. To me, starseed just means we're people who remember that Earth is not our only or primary home, that we have lots of them. And we access that remembrance. Sometimes it's just through a knowing, sometimes it's through our own experiences or contact or whatever. And we're all here bringing our different codes, keys, and frequencies. Every human on the planet is that. I feel like it is time to let go of the I'm going to say it wrong, hierarchical. I did it. Ooh, yeah, that was awesome. The hierarchy, let go of it. That is so old paradigm, not in like a judgy way of the old paradigm, but it's just time to move into something new. It's time to move into the remembrance of who we are. And that starts within. That starts within us. When we can love ourselves with no strings attached, which is what unconditional love is, no strings attached, unconditional love, right? When we can do that for ourselves, then we can love other people. When we can, in a way that supports and uplifts them, right? Because we have all kinds of love in this world, but is that the true core of who we are? That no strings attached unity consciousness love, that unconditional source light love, that's what we're desiring to bring more into the human experience on Earth, and we're here to do that, right? So if we can just spend some time giving back to ourselves, being gentle with ourselves, speaking to ourselves in ways that are supportive and uplifting, right? So that we can I'm about to lose, hold on, you guys, give me 1 second. I'm about to lose our stream. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Oh no. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
I lost my AirPod, almost lost my iPad. I don't know why that was it. So like when we can really focus in on how we can, it's not selfish to support and uplift ourselves. I hear people say that all the time. Service to self is not the same as selfishness. It is filling your own cup so that you have enough to flow out from you into others, and you're not depleted, right? So to take time for ourselves to support and uplift ourselves so that we can have this abundance to flow forward to other people, and it's not depleting us to do that, right? And I feel like this will help us move more into the unity consciousness and consciously creating our reality. When we start to recognize that everything in our world is reflecting back to us who we are and what we hold within our consciousness, that's when we can start to shift that. And when we shift that, the easiest way to do it is to be in neutral love and above, right? But we can't be in neutral love if we don't even know how to love ourselves, right? So this is where we go into that neutral love and above. Then we can start playing with how our reality, what we want to create in our reality, like what feels good, and look at the truth of what's reflecting back that is uncomfortable or intense, or we're no longer resonant with it, right? So to me right now, to find that harmony and that coherence and that unconditional love, it all starts in here, and then we can ripple it out into the world. So if you're pointing fingers at someone and saying you're not doing your journey right, if you're pointing fingers at someone and saying my safety is reliant on what you vote, if it doesn't align with my beliefs, when we're pointing our fingers at other people for whatever, I don't prefer the way you're raising your children to what I'm doing, that's just increasing the pressure cooker that we're in. And especially as people who are coming into our gifts and abilities at lightning speed right now because of the way the energies are shifting, if we want to be able to fully step into the embodiment of what we've come here, we have to really look at what's happening in here and how it's reflecting back to us. And yeah, that's what I think my message is all of this. It's look at your life, become aware, right, of the things that are under the realm of your attention, right? The things my team likes to call them low hanging fruit. low-hanging energetic fruit. Look at all of those things. Where do your beliefs, align with the things you don't want to see in the world? Where do your actions align with the things that you want to move out of in the world? Are you still fighting with people? If you're still fighting with people, whether you feel like you're fighting for yourself or whatever, obviously, if you're in a dangerous situation, get out of it, right? I believe in standing in our sovereignty and not being abused. But at the same time, like if you're just arguing or fighting or whatever, you're adding to the frequency and the archetypical frequencies of war. That's the same exact frequency signature, right? So look at the core of the things that you're ready to shift and go within, and every last filament, rope, I don't know if it's a column, whatever you're holding of it, just start doing the inner work to release it. This is how we move forward, and this is how we make progress in a way that brings us into the harmony that always exists within us. Stop fighting light or dark. There's so much going on with this light and dark battle. Every time we go into, I don't want to see the dark, we create more of the pressure cooker. Every time we go into, there's only dark or there's only light, or it's in a battle, we're adding to that duality pressure cooker that we're experiencing right now. So where can we bring it back into harmony and wholeness? We're always in wholeness. And the light and the dark doesn't have to equate to good and evil. It's just a polarity.
Absolutely.
So I can get really excited. I think I'm starting to use a tone, so I'm gonna hush. I get emphatic. I'm like
we must be in love. We must be in cooperation.
It's a little more. I'm actually had some caffeine and sugar today, so I probably need to like detox a little bit of that out of my system. But yeah, I mean, I feel really passionate about it because I'm watching it constantly play out. And the thing is, if we really want that unity consciousness that exists in our soul always, if we want to embody that on earth, we have to look at all of those details and decide what we're going to play in and what we're not, right?
Right.
I'd like to say something to that. What we talk to people about is practice. You have to practice. It's not just going to come up that you're going to be joyful about yourself or you're going to love yourself. We have an activity that we give people that we work with, and they write down 7 words. Positive, quote unquote, positive. Joy, peace, love of self, going down the list. 7. Monday comes, if your first word is joy, practice joy all day. Practice it so that you can learn how to be joyful. Practice it. And some people ask me, I can't think of anything. Well, see, there you go. So it's to practice it. If it's peace, the second day is peace, you practice it. What do they say? Practice makes perfect. It just doesn't come, just doesn't show up like that. You've got to be in the doing of it. Not just the speaking of it, but the doing of it. That's where we got to be. We got to do it. I'm going to tell you I want peace. Okay, well, then I better be about peace myself in my life, So practice, practice, practice.
I
really
love writing down a different word for every day and practice becoming that.
Yes.
Well,
that was beautiful. And I love how that connected to everyone's share too. I really love the practice one thing all day, but I also really loved how it tied into what Ashley was sharing as well, right? And Lorraine and Sheila and everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes, it was. And, it's really hard to find the words to kind of wrap a session like this up. you know, because the energy is just flowing and it's beautiful. And we've all created this beautiful unit here today. And so I want to challenge everybody that as we part our ways, that you really hold on to like all the visions of the world that we talked about, that we are each and every one co-creating every minute of every day. And we've talked about, you know, the unconditional love, that boundless love. We've talked about, you know, compassion and, you know, bringing a world of peace and understanding. Hold on to that. You know, hold on to that throughout the entire week. And so, you know, just keep your light shining bright. Keep your spirits high. And I want to thank all of you for coming today, for watching this, the people who have joined us on all of our different platforms. I want to thank you for participating and bringing your energy into this conversation today, because as I mentioned before, all of us are weaving this beautiful tapestry today. And I want to thank you for the light that you're bringing into the world. And so I guess until we're all back together again, one platform or another, I want to wish you all much peace, much love. Namaste. And if you're out traveling this weekend on this long holiday weekend, you know, be safe. You know, be considerate of that person that whips out in front of you because they're, you know, in too big a hurry. Just send them lots of love and lots of compassion. And as Greta said, practice what we've been talking about today. So until we are back together again, everybody, thank you so much. Mwah. Namaste, much love, and just have a beautiful life. See you
Bye.
next time.
We love you guys. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.